Hey, you a plumber who's stuck in the trenches but thinking about starting your own plumbing business? Hey, I want to introduce you to a guy, in fact, a couple, a plumbing power couple who did just that. They got all the information they needed before they started their plumbing business. Anxious for you to check them out. Stick around. Hey, plumbing pros, welcome to the 483rd episode of Potty Talk, where we're taking into the trenches, the crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths, all around this big, beautiful world of ours, talking the business of plumbing, how to build a thriving, self-sustaining, and very profitable plumbing business while having a life too. And here in this episode, I'm anxious to introduce you to a couple who actually decided that they wanted to start a plumbing business, but did all the right things before they got into their plumbing business.
I know. I'm super excited to introduce the audience to them because they did all the right things before starting their plumbing business. Totally unique.
And a fun story that I think that you'll relate to. Hey, check them out. All right, here we go as promised. Jesse and Rebecca Itzen. Hey guys, it's so good to have you on here. We've been looking forward to having you on Potty Talk and hearing your story.
Man, it's wonderful to be here. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the time to be here. And, we've enjoyed watching these guys here.
Yes.
And Bighorn Plumbing.
Bighorn
The
Plumbing.
brand, going through all the brand. It's a cool brand.
Out of Nevada. Remind us the city again.
So we're out of Carson City, Nevada, the
Carson.
capital city here.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
Okay.
I was thinking Reno, but Carson City, Nevada. Okay.
Right. All right. And so it's fun. It's just a fun couple. So we just wanted you to get to know them, introduce them to you. And we love your story.
Yes.
Okay. And so let's get into that. All right. So, why did you start? Now you're into plumbing, Jesse. You've been doing the plumbing, right?
Being a plumber. Yeah.
Right. Being a plumber, you were born a plumber and started plumbing and all that kind of stuff. But what made you want to start a plumbing business?
Yes.
Sure. Well, probably similar to a lot of guys, you're in the trade for years and years and grinding, and then, you kind of raise up through the trade, and at some point it's kind of like topped out, right? And you go kind of, is this it?
What's next?
You look around, like, what's next? Like, is this it? And you see the folks that you work for, depending on the size of the business, they were small for me. So I was working pretty closely with some of the top, the owners and stuff like that. And I went, I've always had kind of an entrepreneurial spirit. Like, we've had a couple of different little side hustles here and there through the years. And it just it felt like it was the right time. Like, okay, we have a drive and a desire, and there's something else. Let's go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the feeling, hey, if all these people are doing it, shoot, we could do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think our combined skills really set us up for being successful in that too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you, Rebecca. So Jesse's decided, okay, I want to start a plumbing business. Were you on board immediately, or was this, kind of a progression? How did that work with you?
100%. Like we've always, like he said or mentioned, that we've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. So we're feeling that, we were meant for more. I love how Richard says that at the end of the Potty Talks, but it just was the right time, and we had the right skills and knowledge, and we were ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or we thought we were ready.
Well, and we wanted to be as ready as possible because, that's where Eagles came in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's what's cool about your story then too, which was we all kind of felt that with the thing of instead of working for this guy, there's something more. I want something more, and so I'm going to start my own thing.
Right.
Most of us just start. I mean, we just kind of fall into it and just get going, and we get getting slow out of the gate, and we find ourselves a couple of years down the road. There's like our story here, 3-4 years down the road, we're doing some plumbing work and doing okay, but just not making any money. And then it hits us that we don't know something, and then we look about the business, and then we look for help. You guys were unique in that that we have we have the $1 Million Plumber Success Academy, where we teach the business of plumbing. Everyone's speak on that and work with a lot of clients there. You came in, you started with MDP with us and getting the training before you even started your plumbing business.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
How'd that happen? Where'd that thinking come from?
Yeah.
That is a little wild. It's unique, right?
Yeah.
So
very unique.
here's where it's kind of a little bit different. So I didn't even have my contractor's license yet. when we started MTP. Okay. Like we were that new into this is
Wow.
what we want to do. Let's just go for it. Right. So really how it started was, you're already looking on YouTube and you see little things pop up and whatnot. She had actually said, hey, check so and so out or whatever it was, which wasn't you. And then I found you because of that. And then went and it was Potty Talk. And it was like, whoa, this is like
Yeah.
nothing I've ever heard before, but it's kind of speaking to me, like really speaking to me.
And then he shared it with me, and like immediately we knew we were all in.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't even think I was scheduled to take my contractor's license yet. It was very foundational
Yeah.
in the setting up of our business.
Yeah.
It was like one of the pillars, right?
Well,
Which isn't common.
and we wanted to start strong, and we knew we didn't know what we didn't know. So, it's so important to have coaching in general, but this fact that it was specific to plumbing, it was just like, okay, this is where we need to be.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, and I
yeah, it
wanna
was
know,
actually a few months before the that we actually launched the business that we had started with MDP.
Yeah, because we were going to come out with a whole different name, and Laura's like, "That's pretty vanilla name." When we were on one of the Q&As, and I'm like,
That's what
"Thank
we
you,
needed.
yeah, thank you, Laura," because we came out with a much stronger name, and we were surprised that it was even available. So it was just all like such a godsend, and just everything fell into place. It's so cool.
well, I'm interested. So you're watching Potty Talks, checking them out. What was there a certain thing or theme or something that you heard on Potty Talk was like, okay, this totally resonates and makes sense to me?
Mhm. The initial theme was obviously we see the struggles, or I saw the struggles of the individuals I was working for. And just like it wasn't what I thought they could do for themselves or what I thought we could do for ourselves. Like, wow, I want to do this, but does it really look that desirable? And then, a large portion of the initial fundamental is being priced right, correct?
Yes.
And so when I heard that in one of the early ones, I was like, whoa, okay, that right there changes a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, mind you, we only probably watched 12 or 14 Potty Talks in total before we were like fully bought in.
I don't
Like,
even think it was that
yeah,
many.
it was maybe like a handful. And so yeah, there was one where Richard, you interviewed four members in kind of the four little boxes there and had all of them on as an interview, and they went through their businesses. And there were a couple of particular members in there who really were like, wow, they're exactly where we want to be, and they're just like a year down the road or something like that. So it's like this has to be the real deal, and we're off to the races.
Yeah.
Fully bought in from day one.
Yeah.
Well, what I love, and Jesse, I didn't know that you didn't have your contractor's license yet.
Yes.
That even
Wild, right?
that even speaks more strength for you. And guys, I want you guys to listen to this, because here is that attitude. You've heard me say, and Jesse, I know you've heard, and Rebecca, you've heard us say this because you're in the academy, that really the success depends on 20% of your success depends on knowing the right equations, the right systems, your honest hourly rate. We get into all those kinds of things, the right kind of marketing, the right kind of way to sell to the customer. Okay, that's 20% of your success. 80% is what you have going on up here. Okay, and how you act. And I love, and we see those, and you're a great case. That's obviously why you're on. I mean, we want to talk to you to share your story because you have been successful in a short amount of time. Hey, Potty Talk pros, looking for a reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, electrical products, and more online? Look no further than supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is your go-to site for all your supply needs. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands. Plus, with fast shipping from coast to coast, your order will be delivered right to your door. Need help with an order? No problem. Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business. Talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. As a Trade Master, you get access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM. So, what are you waiting for? Order plumbing, HVAC, electrical supplies, and more from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. That's supplyhouse.com. Okay, and it has largely, of course, it's doing learning the right things. Okay, we don't know what we don't know until we know it, or whatever, that kind of course, right? But you knew that up front, and you had the attitude of going in, I don't know something about this, and I want to be able to grow as quickly as possible. So let me see if I can find out how to do that before just getting in there and going on my own.
Right.
I love that attitude.
And he didn't have a contractor's license, so
Right, you didn't. Right, you were making the moves.
Right.
As you know, we call it falling forward, right? We just quick
Yep.
falling.
fell
yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
You totally fell forward.
Right.
Yep.
So I love
And
that.
and to speak to that too, Richard, real early on in our business process, we had acquired like a word of the year, something to, we had learned about our why and what's going to get us off the mat and what's going to keep pushing us. And our word of that year, that first year, was fearless.
Oh.
And really that falling forward and that going, hey, we got to just go for it and not let this stuff hold us back. And so really that's what we did. I told Trebecca just recently, like, I feel like it was a little bit of kind of dumb, like, well, we kind of don't know better either. So let's just jump, let's just jump into it.
Well,
So,
and everything that we're doing in that first year, it was scary, So fearless was the perfect word for us in that time frame, because it just got us through all those hard things a lot easier than if we were just like, no, it's too scary, that'll hold everybody back, anybody back.
Guys, I hope you're listening to this. They're preaching right now. This is so
100%.
right on, because I hear both. Like I look just man to man. Jesse, not to embarrass you, whatever. He's a guy's guy. He's good. He's doing it, and so it's not that you're not afraid. And there's scary things happening, concerns. You're writing checks that your body can't cash at the moment.
And you're unsure of.
You're unsure if this is going to work out, if that's going to work out. You're hiring guy. You're not sure if that's going to work out. But you move forward fearlessly. Doesn't mean you don't feel the fear, right? And so I love.
Well, what I
you
also
said
like
that,
is that you
right?
picked a word, right? And so you picked a word, and we recommend this too to everybody, not just business, in general, but picking a word for the year. And so what that means is everything you do is through the filter of that word. Right. And so if your word was
True.
fearless, that's the filter that you looked through on every decision you needed to make. That's a strong word. There's other words, of gratitude and whatever, excuse me, but fearless means I'm going to be facing some things that are going to cause me to be afraid or fear, but I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to push through. I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
So that's a really strong, I got goosebumps when you said that word, because having watched you guys grow and the size that you guys are now in such a short period of time, that tells me that you really took that to heart. And
You had
guys
to push. Yeah, you had to push through that fear.
Fearless. So I want to speak of that. Okay, so 2 years ago ish started your plumbing business, right? Jesse, you were in the truck, right? In the beginning.
Yep.
When did you hire your first technician? About what time frame?
so let's see, it would have been September of 23 that we kind of opened doors.
Right.
And I was operating out of a truck, didn't have our first van yet, but it wasn't until January really of 24. So just a few months, 4 months later, that we got our first tech.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just thinking about this pretty recently, trying to
Remember our timeline.
kind of remember the timeline, because you get hammering down so much and you kind of
Yeah.
forget to enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
we
true.
actually had a van and a small office with a GBP setup
Before we hired that
before
first
we even hired our first guy.
technician.
Like we were a legit business because of the NDP process.
Mhm.
And it worked in, encouraging the people coming in to see our, we knew we were brand new. They didn't, because we looked
Right.
like we'd been in business for 5 years already. So
Exactly.
yeah, that was when we acquired our first tech, and it was
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
it was wild.
Mhm.
January 24. So now, size company that you guys are,
Mhm.
is how many trucks?
So we, our general manager hired our fifth technician on Friday. We've got a 6th van also waiting at the shop for our next recruit.
Well, we like to have an extra one
Yeah.
because we had a situation early on where he had to hop back in the truck instead of the van and work out of that, and it was a pain in the butt. So now we always have an extra one.
Yeah.
That's right. But
So, yeah, we got
in
4
less
guys
than 2
strong,
years.
and
Yes, and
Yeah.
so your first one was January 24, and we're right now at the time of recording. We're in October, middle of October.
25.
Of 20, thank you, of 25. So just over, just under 2 years. That's amazing. And that already you have a general manager. Guys, hear that, okay? So they did the work, and that's the goal, is to get your butt out of the truck as the owner, and have a general manager that's running the guys, that's running the shop, so that you don't have to. So in that short period of time, already a GM. That's amazing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think starting out, first of all, going right, I need to understand the business, not to, that it ain't about plumbing, that you knew that going in. And then the fearless, because it's supposed you have the same, I know you have the same, because it's like, I'm buying a truck. We're buying a new truck. I don't have enough work. I don't have the work. I don't have someone in that truck. I mean, all that, like you said, you're buying the extra truck. You're waiting to get a butt in that truck. Okay. Well, I get the right butt in that truck. Those are just basic fears right there.
Yes.
And so,
Yeah.
Well, I
guys,
think you guys have adapted to the freedom lifestyle pretty well, because I know you guys do some traveling, and you can do that because you got a GM. So what was the kind of the first time you felt like I've got some freedom with this business, and it's not just a job that I own?
well, interesting. We're talking about freedom now because 2025's word of the year was freedom for us,
It is.
or is. Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
we went through the fearless phase initially, and we said, hey, let's expand and let's have this year's word be freedom very early on. So with us actually, we've had before we had our general manager, because of the MDB systems and really leaning on them and foundationally setting them up properly really early on, it was probably a lot easier for us to step away for these couple of days first, and then expanding out into the week, because everything and everybody kind of knew what needed to happen. There wasn't a whole lot of questions that needed to necessarily be addressed. And then as we progress and we hire our general manager, I mean, there's a different kind of freedom lifestyle where initially I thought, "Well, it's I'm gonna be free and I'm out of my business, right? I got a GM." Oh
Right.
boy, it was a more important kind of freedom where now I have the freedom to really observe,
And work on the business.
yeah,
Yeah.
and start making these systems even more efficient and really dialing in everything and perfecting it, and and just expanding our lives at the same time by having this little, our time is our own a little bit more than it was,
Oh yeah, a
and
lot.
we choose wisely to spend a good amount of time on the business and systemizing, and then enjoying each other's company as well with some of the other freedom. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Freedom, great word.
So
for the year.
not at all, you know.
Our word of the year.
It is.
Great word.
And so we mentioned talking about the systems as you got in. What is one? I want to throw you under the bus here because there's other things and so much there. But what is something that was maybe an epiphany or something that you learned in the academy that was like, oh, I never thought about that way, but that's interesting.
An aha moment.
An aha moment that you had.
An aha moment really that encompasses everything is that, there's, you've got all the different modules and stuff and you put everything together, but it's not about the plumbing. And if you weren't set up like a legitimate business, it's going to be a heck of a lot more difficult and it's going to take a lot more time. And the whole MVP system is geared towards being legitimate and premier. And we love it. We wouldn't have it any other way.
I love it.
What about you, Rebecca? Was there something, because you guys, I know you did the academy, Rebecca, you've done it equally with Jesse.
Mhm.
What was there something in the academy where you're like, okay, this is kind of a new concept, or this was my aha moment?
Mhm. Oh geez, gosh, there were so many. I think that the main thing was like booking for today, scheduling everything for today, how important that is for your customers and also for your growth. Like you cannot gauge if you need another plumber if you're scheduling out to be comfortable. It just doesn't work that way. So that
How much
was
It almost dials back into that scheduling with a mindset of not fear, but could be translated that way. Like,
Mhm.
you know, like,
Yeah, sure. It's
Right.
uncomfortable to have to reschedule somebody, but for the
Yes.
most part, people are understanding and they're okay with that,
yeah,
So
that's a big aha. Like provide that
provide
value to the
that value.
customer and do it
Yeah.
now.
And to,
And keep and
that's
recruit.
Right.
That's right.
I should have been wearing that shirt today. I got the recruiter.
Yes,
like
yes.
when no one wakes up in the morning and calls a plumber. So
Right.
yes,
Wants
he
to
just
call a plumber. Nobody
that's
wants to
right.
call a plumber.
That's great.
But it's true.
And that's been my, over 40 years. It's always been that way. And that's a great example, Rebecca. I love that you brought up that one of how we've been conditioned as plumbers. I mean, we did it where you want to get the schedule all scheduled out because it feels
Mhm.
safe and secure
Comfortable. Yes.
and comfortable. But you said it perfectly. You don't know that you can grow. That I feel comfortable bringing another guy on if the work is all spread out comfortably.
Yep.
And there's other issues. You find out when you spread the work out that work's not there by the time you get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the value is in the day to be able to charge like what we charge, what our customers are paying for, is that we're taking care of the problem today, getting them back in the hot water today. Those kinds of things. So there's a lot around there. That's a great example. Thank you for that one.
Yes, and recruit.
Recruit, right?
Never
Yeah.
stop recruiting, even when you don't think you need anybody. And I mean, you're sixth guy, right? So what you said, sixth guy starting Monday that the GM
Well,
hired.
we just hired our fifth guy
The
on
fifth guy,
Friday.
and you hired,
Yeah.
right?
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
you're gonna continue to hire. I know because you're you're gonna continue recruiting. Doesn't mean you hire,
Oh yeah.
but we're always recruiting. It's just a culture of
Yeah.
recruiting.
Yes.
Always
Yep.
looking and mining.
So as a plumbing power couple, and we love our
okay.
plumbing power couples, how do you guys work together? Because some people, we hear, I can never work with my husband, or I never
Yeah.
work with my wife, or whatever it might be. What is something that you guys have put into place that allows you to be successful working together as husband and wife?
Well, a couple things are, it kind of just all of a sudden one day went to, okay, now we're working with each other. Never worked a day, other than operating our family and whatnot. But so that was definitely, we figured out that we come from a structure of 9 to 5 maybe, but let's be a little more fluid. And it's okay if it's still 4 o'clock or something and maybe you got started a little bit later in the day and you're just kind of flowing right now. That's fine. Let us have our time to really be grooving in the business and do that. And then also when we do have an event that we finished, or a coaching client or anything like that where we're just kind of on for quite a while, we've learned that sometimes we just need 15-20 minutes of quiet uninterrupted.
I do.
Yes.
It's all energized, but
Yes.
I think the main thing though also is like staying in our lanes. Like we each have the things that we're good at, and as long as we stick to those things and focus on those
True.
and not try to like step in each other's lanes too much, and that keeps the peace too.
Yes, 100%. Because sometimes when you start your plumbing business, there's so many things to be done, right?
A lot.
There's so many things. And sometimes the tendency is the things that are hard, everybody wants to ignore. The things that are a little bit easier is like, okay, I want that. No, I'm not. And then you're stepping on each other's toes, and then communication breaks down and all the things. So I love that you guys figured that out from the beginning. We got to stay in our lane. You do what you're really good at. I'll do what I'm really good at. And that's what makes a great plumbing power couple. Also, you guys mentioned too, just to let our audience know, Jesse and Rebecca just became MVP certified coaches, which we're super excited about. MVP system is growing, and yeah, they are now getting to coach other plumbing business owners.
Their hearts.
Yeah,
Their heart.
great hearts for helping other plumbing business owners through the things that they've already been through. So yeah, we're super excited about having them on as coaches.
Right. All right, guys. That's just good stuff there. We're kind of getting close on our time here to wrap things up. While we have you here on that note, since you are coaching or whatever, what is something that each of you, could say or recommend to, someone who's listening here, whether it's, the guy, plumber, or a possible PPC, or maybe even a couple that aren't working together, whatever it is, what could you offer up a nugget of gold
Yes.
or words of wisdom on anything? I'll take anything. Okay.
You just can't give up. You cannot give up on anything, and you got to keep grinding,
Mm.
pounding every day, and then compound pounding, you know. And then as far as kind of the MDP system goes, you know, we were able to get in there right off the bat and didn't have to turn around or change a whole lot. But
Yeah.
even if you do have to, you know, you've had a business for a couple of years maybe, to try to change these things and try to do these things that you know need to be corrected without the MDP process is going to be difficult, and it's going to take a long time.
Mhm.
It's very surprising, and you know, it makes me very happy to see that when you start with the MDP process, you see stuff start to turn around immediately. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty powerful.
Right out of the gate.
Mhm.
What,
What about you, Rebecca?
So I'll speak on the power couple part of that. And I think just learning how to work together will really improve your marriage as well. And like keeping to the date night and
Yep.
hiring a house cleaner, as
Yes.
Laura suggests. I did finally do that. And gosh, it's made life so much better. Just, those
Way
things.
to go, Trebek.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of
Yeah.
you.
We don't miss a date night. Like I've told Trebecca numerous times, and I've told other people, I think even some of the clients, that our date nights and our business has actually brought us closer together as a couple,
Mhm.
closer together than we ever were working our independent jobs and
Yeah, meeting up
each
at the end
other.
of the day and the weekends.
Like you wonder in the beginning, like, are we going to know each other? Like, how could you work with your spouse and this and that? It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's those times, but
Yeah.
it's definitely drawing us closer.
Absolutely.
I
Never
love
miss a date
date
night.
night.
That is the music to my ears.
and Jesse, just as a man, a brother, I respect that. I love hearing that you said that coming from you, because that's the thing. And it is more, I thought the same kind of a thing. You know, the guy thing. Well, I can't work with my wife, and I get all that. I was that, but being on this side of things after so many years, it is more, it's more fun, more exciting. Um, there's history that we've shared together, all those kinds of things.
Yes.
And yes, we also try never to miss a date night. And I'm glad that you said that as well. That's
And
so,
all through the years, we did that when we
Yeah.
had little kids. I mean, and you guys have heard the stories, but it was sometimes it was hard, and we didn't have a lot of money. So sometimes it was, Taco Bell, and we would go out to the airport and watch the planes take off. That was kind of his thing. He liked to watch planes take off, and I wanted to be with him. So
I'm a simple guy.
what we did. But we did simple things, and then gradually building it up to, oh, we can maybe even eat it. What was the one place where they put the peanuts on the floor? It's a steak place, Lone Star.
Lone Star.
Lone Star steak.
The steakhouse,
All around. But we still did it, right? Regardless if we had the money, and then eventually, we're certain blessed to where we can, spend a little bit more money and kind of do something fun on date night. But the point is not missing. And you guys are exactly right. It does bring you closer together. And sometimes it doesn't make sense that how is this going to affect my business?
Right. Say it's good for business. Wow.
How does this make my business better? And Jess, you're exactly right. It just brings you closer together. Having that time, just date night that's away from the business, away from the kids, all the things you guys reconnecting. Then when there is maybe conflict or something in the business, it doesn't seem as high or as drastic because you've connected on date night.
Yeah.
So that I love that, you guys, and I'm
Right
so
on.
glad that you brought that up.
Okay. And you've mentioned, I appreciate you mentioning the Success Academy and MDP and the stuff that we have. And of course, we talked about it on Potty Talk here. And if you're interested and want to learn more about what Jesse and Rebecca are talking about and learn those systems, and your head's in the kind of this spot, the same kind of spot, I'm ready to learn something. You just want to learn more about what we're talking about here. Schedule your free call. Okay, it's free. I don't charge you anything, or you're not going to push anything your way either. But we will have a discussion with someone on our team here, and we want to find out about where you're at and what you're thinking, what you want to be at, what's standing in your way, and then we'll point you in the right direction to get around it, over it, under it, whatever it takes. Okay, and go from there.
And you too could be like Jesse and Rebecca, working together, have a successful business after a short period of time, doing the work, Creating the words, right? Fearless, freedom. I can't wait to hear what 2026 is.
All right.
What do you guys have in store for 2026?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, go to milliondollarplumber.com/call.
Yes.
Okay.
Book a call.
To book a call there. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time
Yes.
and dropping your nuggets of gold with us. Appreciate you guys.
Our pleasure.
Okay. All right. Hey, it's about time to wrap things up. And guys, I want to keep you on. You close with me. You mentioned it, Rebecca. You know the close here that you were purposefully and wonderfully created,
Wonderfully
and you were
made.
created to do great things. So everybody says, plumb like a
Plumb like
champion.
a champion.
That's right. All right. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.